Alright troops, Ferris here, and welcome to Tinkerer's Tips, a video series that will help you get a basic understanding of the game and give some extra information that will help improve your gameplay. Today we'll be talking about Evil Dead the game and the variety of survivor classes available, their strengths, their weaknesses, as well as some quick tips useful for every class. The first thing to learn and understand about Evil Dead when it comes to Survivor is understanding the 4 classes and what each one does. While each survivor has their own unique skill sets, they still fall within one of 4 classes, which is essentially their core role in a team, which you can see from the collection screen. To get a quick tooltip about what each survivor class does, you simply need to highlight the class and the game will give you a brief prompt about what that class does. So something you can quickly garner from the tooltips is that leaders are resistant to fear and buff teammates, warriors are tanky melee fighters, hunters are agile ranged fighters, and support start with healing supplies and can heal nearby teammates. Once we load into a game, however, there are 4 simple things to keep in mind regardless of what class you choose. Number 1. Look quickly and mark chests you find for nearby teammates. Number 2. Keep your eyes and ears open for signs of the demon. If the demon is nearby you, you'll hear a growling sound of where they are. Number 3. Stay relatively close to your teammates, preferably within the same location, or keep track of nearby cars. Survivors are easily picked off when unprepared and alone. Number 4. Avoid becoming terrified, firing ranged weapons, or getting in cars to keep your location hidden. Guns and cars can be used freely once the demon locates you. These 4 quick tips can greatly aid you, especially in the early game when you're at your weakest, meaning the longer it takes the demon to find you, the longer you can loot, and the more prepared you are for the onslaught that is to come. Of course, once the demon finds you, you want to bail to your teammates as quick as possible. Survivors are much stronger in numbers and are easy to pick off if caught on their own. As a survivor, your choice of class dictates what role you play within a team. You can run pretty much any team composition you like, however I'd recommend having at least one person in support for team-wide heals. If you already have a support or a leader, I suggest playing a hunter or a warrior, as you only really need one support and one leader in most team compositions. But play who you want. I don't judge. Pink F are pink bottles of alcohol found in chests that survivors open with higher quality chests, dropping more pink F. Every class has different levels of pink F levels. Each class has a primary, secondary, and tertiary pink F upgrade, with primary upgrades having 5 levels and should typically be the main focus of that class, excluding support, which has no primary pink F stat.
Evil is about to have a really bad day.
Leaders are generalists that can function in almost any role due to doing average damage values and improve everything nearby survivors do. This means they can comfortably use both melee and ranged regardless of what leader is in play. That means you Arthurmen should be using your guns. Leaders will want to try and stay nearby as many teammates as possible to provide them the myriad of boons they provide, improving their abilities when it comes to combating the demon. The leader class is also more resistant to fear and has a higher fear threshold, making them very difficult or sometimes even impossible to terrify. Leaders also have an average stamina pool, allowing them to dodge 2 to 3 times without rest. However, despite being a generalist, leaders are weaker alone and will easily crumble to a demon if caught unprepared in a 1v1 scenario, as they lack the raw strength of warriors and the agility of hunters. Being generalists also mean that having multiple leaders in the same team leaves specialized gaps open in the team, allowing demons to exploit that weakness easier. I can't win that crossbow. It has crossbow max ray.
On my hand, the dead shall die again.
Warriors are tanky melee-focused fighters that do 50% more damage with melee weapons, meaning they are powerful anchors that can protect teammates from the demon's attention. Their sheer bulk allows them to soak up a lot of damage, paired with their high melee damage, which makes them great candidates for protecting the weaker leader and support-based survivors. Even though warriors are best when protecting teammates, they're capable of holding their own against a demon for extended periods of time, but can be slowly whittled down or sometimes even overwhelmed. This is due to the warrior's low stamina pool, allowing them to dodge only once or twice without rest. Warriors will also need to watch their fear, as they're easily terrified if the demon makes some form of effort to scare them, and do only 50% range damage, so you may as well be using a nerf gun when shooting. However, I advise having a gun on hand for when you need them in a pinch, or to protect yourself from possessed teammates. Just make sure to drop your ammo for your other teammates when they ask, but keep 5 to 10 rounds on hand. Oh, he stole my kill! Hey Ben, what's up, man?
Yes, you know I'm in.
Hunters are your ranged specialists, your shooty McShooters, your gunplay enthusiasts, or simply for people that play too much Dark Souls. Hunters do 50% more range damage, making them some of the most powerful damage dealers in the game, and can have an absurd amount of stamina, allowing them to dodge over 4 times without rest and travel large distances with ease on foot. This allows Hunters to function as dodge tanks if they take the demon player's aggression. Having such incredibly generous stamina pools and powerful ranged weapons allows the Hunter to be alone against the demon for extended periods of time if skilled enough at dodging combined with a steady hand. Of course, these boons with ranged weapons only last while Hunters have ammo, and shooting a gun produces noise in the early game. This forces Hunters to use melee weapons early game, or if they run out of ammo, which they suffer a steep 30% damage penalty on. While skilled Hunters can function as dodge tanks, Hunters are typically limited when it comes to protecting their allies outside of killing units quickly due to their poor performance in melee combat, and their inability to function as a wall like warriors can. What is that? Calico possessed in one-shot Arthur. Again? Yeah, that seems about right. Also, if Hunters get possessed, the demon needs to be knocked out as soon as possible. Hunters are prime possession targets for demons due to how quickly they can wipe teams, so most Hunters may want to focus on fear resistance to help prevent this. Welcome to Hunters.
I've faced this thing before. Time to finish what we started.
Supports. The class everyone loves in their squad, but nobody wants to play. Supports are experts at keeping everyone else alive, carrying more healing supplies and getting yelled at when someone goes down. Supports will also have abilities that allow them to heal or aid their team in some way, shape or form. Supports can heal and shield the nearby teammates when using healing items, Shemps being heals and amulets being shields. This, essentially, makes a support the lifeline of any team. Losing the support or having the support running out of healing supplies will make the demon's job much easier, meaning that having a support is almost always mandatory against skilled opposition. Of course, being good at keeping other survivors in the team alive means the support suffers when it comes to combat, doing 20% less damage regardless if it's melee or ranged. However, they'll do more melee damage than Hunters and more ranged damage than warriors, so they can function as generalists in a pinch. Supports are also fragile with a low health pool, but have the same average stamina pool that leaders have, meaning they can't dance around opponents like Hunters can. This creates a cycle where the team keeps the support alive, and in return, the support keeps the rest of the team alive. This means that the support is the weakest class in the game if caught out alone, being unable to defend themselves properly and are extremely reliant on teammates to keep them safe. Warriors are a support's best friend. They'll keep them safe. To top it off, if the support runs out of healing items because that one Scotty player keeps eating hits, they'll function as worse leaders, providing very little assistance while their active abilities are on cooldown, and struggling to provide combat support due to their damage penalties. Everything to die, pretty much. There we go, that's it for all 4 survivor classes. While this video covered the basics of each survivor class in a general fashion, each survivor within each class does different things because of their unique abilities, so don't be afraid to try out different survivors from the same class until you find one that clicks with you. I hope this video helped. I'll see you next time.